You drift in the deep blue hush, weightless and ancient. The sea folds around you like a living cradle, 1,000 heartbeats pulsing through its waters. The moon is full tonight. You can feel her, even through the weight of miles above. Her light seeps through the ocean's ceiling in trembling ribbons, touching your shell like silver fingertips. You are older than most things that move. Your heart beats slow, steady, unhurried, the rhythm of the tide itself. You have known coral kingdoms and storms that carve songs into the sea floor. You have seen islands rise and vanish again beneath the patient pull of water. And now the call comes. It isn't sound, not really, more like a pressure deep within your bones, a soft urging that begins behind your eyes and spreads outward like warmth. It says, "It is time." You do not question it. You have felt it before, in other lives, other journeys. The ocean always knows when to send you. You turn your head toward the east, where the current hums with a faint silver light, and begin to swim. Your flippers move through the dark like wings, parting the heavy blue with ease. Every motion is slow but strong, as though you are slicing time itself. Around you, plankton shimmer like stars scattered through the water, a drifting constellation that moves with you, luminous and alive. You remember this feeling, this leaving. The first time, you were small and fragile, the waves enormous, the world unending. You had followed a scent then, the perfume of salt and moonlit sand. Now, you follow memory instead. As you move, the sea begins to murmur in its many voices. The low thrum of whales in the distance, a sound too deep to be heard, more felt through your shell than your ears. The quick, silver chatter of fish darting past. The slow, soft breath of an unseen current wrapping around you as if the ocean itself sighs with contentment. You return again, whispers a voice from below. You pause. The sound is neither near nor far, neither inside nor outside of you. It feels like the seabed speaking, an old, familiar presence. Yes, you think, though you do not have words. The sea doesn't need them. The voice hums softly, as though amused. You always do. The moon calls, and you follow. You carry the same light, you know, in your heart, hidden beneath that shell. You move again, deeper into the open water. Each stroke takes you farther from the coral reefs you've known, from the warmth of shallower tides. The light dims, the water cools. Strange shapes drift at the edges of vision, ribbons of jelly that glow faintly like lost dreams. Sometimes you wonder what lies beyond the edge of the sea. Not the shore, but the true edge, where even the water must end. Does the current fall away into sky? Or do you simply become part of the light that guides you? You swim for hours, maybe days. The ocean doesn't mark time the way the land does. The stars move above, invisible to you yet still felt, their pull subtle and sure. You navigate by instinct older than memory. Every cell of you hums with the same rhythm as the earth turning beneath the moon. When you rest, you float near the surface, letting the warmth of distant sunlight seep into your shell. The salt tastes like memory, sharp and clean. You close your eyes and dream, not of land, but of movement, endless and serene. In the dream, you are both sea and sky. You drift through clouds that taste of brine. You see constellations reflected in endless waves. Somewhere, a voice sings, soft, low, and steady. It sounds like the heart of the ocean itself. When you wake, that song lingers, faint, but clear. You realize it isn't gone. It's inside you, pulsing in time with your own heartbeat. It is the song that guides all things that move and return. You continue onward, following the current as it bends and twists like a living ribbon. Beneath you, the ocean floor falls away into blue infinity. Tiny sparks of light drift upward from the depths. Creatures older than myth, rising from where the sun has never touched. You pass through them slowly, reverently, as though through a cathedral of stars. For a moment, you feel weightless, almost holy. The current grows stronger. You can sense it pulling toward something. Not danger, but destiny. The waters shimmer faintly now, a sign of warmer tides ahead. You know you are nearing the great gyres, where currents circle endlessly, drawing travelers together. You remember stories, not told in words, but carried in the deep vibrations of the sea, of turtles who reached the gyres and never left, choosing to drift forever in the spiral dance of water and light. You wonder, briefly, if this time you will join them. Then the moon's light touches your shell again, and the thought fades. You are not done. Not yet. Ahead, the sea brightens. You catch the scent of coral and seagrass carried by the current, faint but unmistakable. The scent of home, though you are still far from shore. You feel something shift within you, a small, glowing certainty. The ocean hums its approval, and the voice from before returns, softer now, like a memory speaking in your dreams. The journey has begun again. Swim well, keeper of tides. And so you do. The current cradles you as you glide onward, through the night blue silence, through the infinite heartbeat of the world. You are the sea's memory, moving, and the sea remembers everything. You move deeper into the blue, following the current that threads like a ribbon through the water. The sun filters down from above, soft and fractured, turning the sea into layers of liquid glass. The world here is quieter, not empty, but hushed, as if the ocean holds its breath for something sacred. You can feel the rhythm of your flippers, slow, steady, like the ticking of a timeless clock. Every movement carries you farther from what you were and closer to what you are becoming. The water begins to shimmer faintly with new colors, indigo, violet, a breath of gold. The current has brought you to a place where the ordinary world slips a little, and something unseen begins to sing. At first, you think it's the echo of the whales again. Their songs often reach across impossible distances. But this sound is finer, like threads of music spun from light itself. It comes from all around, though when you pause, you realize it also comes from within you. The voices are not words, not exactly, but their meaning ripples through you all the same. Traveler, keeper of shells, listener of tides, you slow your movement, hovering in the gentle sway of water. Small fish pass around you, glinting like coins in sunlight. You notice that their movements seem to form patterns, circles that open and close, like breathing. The patterns whisper in the same rhythm as the voices. Everything remembers, little one. Even the sand remembers the moon. The sound seems to come from one of the rays gliding past, its body rippling like silk as it drifts over the sea floor. You follow it for a while, moving together in easy silence. The ray flicks its fins as if in greeting. You speak. You think to it, unsure whether it's your thought or the sea's translation. The ray turns, circling you once. Everything speaks. If you listen in the right direction, it replies, its voice more sensation than sound, like sunlight against your back. Where am I going? You ask. Home, says the ray. but not the way you think of home. You go to meet what you've forgotten. You swim in silence for a while, considering that. The words resonate like the slow beat of a drum, forgotten, and yet familiar. You remember flashes, sand beneath your shell when you were small, the sound of gulls calling from the air above, a storm that carried you far from that first shore. So much of your life has been in motion, the drifting, the endless crossing of distance. Perhaps memory, too, is a kind of current. The ray turns away, gliding into a field of coral towers rising like frozen fire. The reef hums with quiet life, tiny shrimp flickering in the crevices, anemones swaying like soft lanterns. You pass slowly, feeling the vibrations of countless creatures. It's not sound, not sight, but something older, an awareness of being surrounded by a million quiet lives, each with its rhythm, each with its story. The coral hums, low and steady. You realize it is speaking to you, too. We remember you, it says, though not in words. The feeling comes like warmth through water. You passed here long ago, when your shell was thin and your eyes were bright with fear. You have grown heavy with time, and still you return. You brush past a column of coral, its surface glowing faintly under your touch. It feels alive in a way beyond flesh, pulsing gently, like the heart of the sea itself. The moon has marked you, the coral hums. Her light still follows you beneath the waves. Do you still listen when she calls? I do, you answer, though your reply is more like an exhale than a word. The coral shimmers once, as though in approval, and fades into stillness. You continue on, feeling changed in a way you can't name. The water is warmer now. You pass schools of fish whose bodies flash silver when they turn, a living constellation. Above, you glimpse the surface again, sunlight breaking the waves into diamonds. You rise toward it, slow and deliberate, until your head breaches the air. The world above startles you every time. The vastness of sky, the endless horizon, the song of wind brushing the water. You take a breath, tasting salt and light, and feel a deep peace settle inside you. From somewhere unseen, gulls cry faintly, not as you remember them, but softer, as if they're part of a dream you once had. You close your eyes and let the sea hold you. When you sink beneath the surface again, the voices return, faint, layered, echoing through your mind like waves folding into each other. The journey is not a path, but a circle. You move, and yet you return. You descend again into the quiet belly of the sea. The light above fades slowly, layer by layer, until blue becomes indigo, and indigo becomes the color of dreams. The water thickens around you, cool and dense, holding you like a thought that will not let go. Each breath is slow and full, ancient as the tide. Down here, the world forgets time. The sound of your movement is soft, a whisper in an infinite hush. You can no longer tell if you are swimming or being carried. The currents cradle you, rocking you like memory itself. At first, you think you are alone. Then you realize solitude is only another kind of company, the sea's presence pressing gently against your shell. You drift deeper. Pressure folds around you, not heavy, but complete. Far below, something stirs, a flicker of light, faint and rhythmic, like a heart beating beneath the world. You follow it, drawn not by will but instinct, by some silent promise. As you near, darkness fills with color. Tiny orbs of pale blue and green pulse in the water, floating like stars in reverse. They gather around you, each breathing in time with your own rhythm. You hover among them, still as a shadow. Their light spills over your shell, tracing the lines of your age, the maps of every current you've followed. You sense that they know you, not by sight, but by recognition deeper than vision. A hum rises through the water, soft and resonant. It vibrates through your body, through the bones of the sea itself. It is not a voice, but it speaks all the same. You have come far, deeper than memory remembers. You drift within that sound, suspended in it. Around you, the glowing forms pulse faster, and you understand without understanding. This is no place, but a moment. The stillness, where the sea dreams of itself. Everything that moves must rest. The hum continues. Even the tide must close its eyes. You close your eyes. The silence that follows is vast and alive. You feel the slow heartbeat of the planet, the song of water against stone, the pulse of the moon upon the waves. Images bloom behind your eyelids. The coral towers of your youth, storms that shaped your shell, the first sand beneath your flippers. You see the face of the moon, reflected on 1,000 nights. You see yourself in every ripple. For a moment, there is no difference between seeing and being. You are not a creature within the sea. You are the sea remembering its own body. When you open your eyes, the lights are gone. Only the deep remains, humming softly like the last note of a long, slow song. You begin to rise, not fast, only with the same patience that carries the moon across the sky. The water grows lighter. Somewhere above, the surface gleams faintly, a silver promise. You break through it just as night turns to morning. The horizon blushes with pink and gold. Air is cool, salted with wind. You breathe deeply, and for a heartbeat, it feels like breathing for the first time. You float, half in water, half in air. The moon lingers low, pale, sinking into memory. Ahead, the sea stretches toward a brightness that smells faintly of land. You feel it before you see it, the warmth, the shallower rhythm of the waves, the gentle resistance of sand rising beneath you. The current shifts, slower now, as if the ocean bows before what waits beyond. The shore comes into view, a long, pale line beneath the sun. You recognize it instantly. Something deep within stirs, older than thought. Home. The word has no edges. It feels like the soft collapse of waves on sand, like the silence between tides. You move toward it, gliding easily. Water brightens until it becomes translucent, sunlight trembling over sand below. Tiny fish scatter in your shadow. A crab pauses, watching you pass as if it remembers your shape. When the breakers lift you, you let them. They do not resist you, nor you them. Together, you move closer to the place where the world changes from fluid to solid. You stop just short of the shallows, where the surf whispers over your back. The beach glows under the newborn sun. The sound, the hush and retreat, is the oldest lullaby you know. You look toward the land and remember. You remember the night you were born beneath the stars, sand cool against your belly, the scent of salt calling you forward. You remember the first wave that touched you, the first breath of the ocean that made you whole. And now you see the same moment happening again. Tiny figures move on the sand, hatchlings, glinting like droplets of moonlight, pushing toward the water. Their movements are clumsy and certain, both fragile and unstoppable. You watch them, your heart heavy and light. Each carries the same call that carried you. Each will swim through storms and stars. Each will remember in time the way back to this same shore. You feel no sadness, only wonder. The world is infinite in its circles. The tide lifts, wraps around you, and you sense a whisper, not from the sea, not from the air, but from the balance between them. You have returned, traveler. The tide remembers your shape. The world is complete once more. You stay for a long time, letting the water rise and fall. You do not need to go ashore. The shore is already within you, a place made not of sand, but of remembering. As the sun climbs, the light deepens to gold. Hatchlings vanish into the waves, each ripple joining the rhythm that hums through your veins. You turn slowly, facing outward. Beyond the breakers, the ocean opens in every direction. It is endless, familiar, new. You breathe in its scent, feel salt gather on your skin, and realize something has changed. The sea no longer feels like something outside you. It feels like your own pulse, vast and calm, moving quietly beneath your shell. You swim again, not to flee, not to seek, but to move with the rhythm that created you. Your flippers cut through gentle swells, leaving trails of silver. Sun dances on your back, the world glows through you. You pass into deeper water. The horizon shimmers like glass. The ocean is no longer blue or green. It is light itself, bending and returning, always in motion. Your life, your journey, every breath. One continuous act of belonging. You remember the lights in the deep, their voices telling you that everything that moves must rest. Resting is not stopping. It is returning to the rhythm that never ends. The sea hums softly. You are not the traveler anymore. You are the tide. You feel the truth. Body and water blur. You could be a current, a wave, a memory flowing through salt. You are the home that everything moves through. The wind changes. Light grows warmer. Somewhere far away, the moon stirs, though you cannot see her. You know she is there, watching the same waves that rock you. You close your eyes. The world exhales with you. Once more, you see that first journey, the tiny crawl toward the water, the vastness ahead. But this time, you see it not from the hatchling's eyes nor the turtles, but from the sea itself. You are the tide that greeted the small creature. You are the moonlight that showed the way. Quietly, the images fade. Only the rhythm remains, a slow, eternal pulse. In, out, in, out. The water moves through you, calm and endless. You drift until there is no difference between stillness and motion. The sea is breathing. You are breathing. The world, for once, seems perfectly at rest. You open your eyes to the shimmer of waves. Above, the sky is wide and forgiving. Below, the sea gleams with light that feels alive. You take one deep breath, full of salt and sun. There is nothing to seek, nothing to become. You have always been the journey, the pulse carrying the world from beginning to beginning. The tide rises around you, cool and soft. You let it lift, carry, dissolve you into its slow song. And in that moment, as you float between sea and sky, between being and remembering, you understand. You are not ending. You are returning. You breathe out, and the sea breathes in. The horizon glows like a promise kept. The waves whisper, endless and kind. Rest now. You are home,